Welcome back to another episode of the Holistic Ritual. I am so happy you are here today as we have been exploring over the last couple of weeks everything that the September cosmos has to offer. We've been meditating, we've been doing some oracle readings, some affirmation readings, and just having a really good time.
You're listening to The Holistic Ritual, a podcast for holistic health-minded humans seeking mind, body, spirit well-being. Hosted by Kamala Celeste, IIN holistic health coach, former personal trainer, and meditation guide. With over a decade of experience guiding transformation and whole person healing, you're invited into the practice of guided meditations, affirmation readings, and spiritual insights through a holistic wellness lens, blending ancient wisdom with modern science. This space supports you in releasing, renewing, and reconnecting with your inner wisdom, cultivating a sanctuary you can return to each week as your own holistic ritual. Without further ado, let's get into the episode.
I am loving these episodes where we get to be together in ritual and tune into ourselves and really just check out what the heck is going on cosmically lately. And I have a cat in my lap, so someone is crashing our episode today. If you listened to last week's episode, you know that we kind of just recapped all of the crazy energy that's been happening. There's been a lot going on. It is eclipse season. And this week, we are having another eclipse, which is interesting because the day that I release this is probably the same day that we are having a solar eclipse in Virgo. So as we kind of layer all of this together, Virgo energy, it is organized, it's precise. It could bring about things about your routines, health things could be coming up around this eclipse, and just really thinking about the small and sacred ways that we care for ourselves. And like I've mentioned over the last few episodes, eclipse energy can kind of shake things up and bring things about in a chaotic or unexpected kind of way. I'm pre-recording this, so I have no idea what is going to happen over the next few weeks for myself, so I might have some stories for you whenever I record the next episode. And as we go into Virgo, Virgo can kind of be that accountability type of energy. A Virgo, I feel like, is always going to tell you how it is. They might not dance around your feelings. And they have a reputation of being kind of overly critical, especially towards themselves. So during the solar eclipse on the 21st, transferring this into a collective kind of energy, it could reveal for us where we are being too rigid in our lives, and also where we've been letting things slide that we shouldn't necessarily be letting them slide. It's almost asking us to think about recalibration. This whole eclipse season is really about recalibration in our lives, whether it is a big external recalibration. Maybe we are going through a job change, or relationship things or friendship things are coming up, or family things, and really pay attention to where Virgo is in your chart, because that will be an area that might be highlighted. And then the other beautiful thing that we are experiencing this week is the Fall Equinox. It is one of my favorite times of the year. Fall is the season of harvest. And it almost feels like we tend to start slowing down as we begin preparing for winter, preparing for the darker half of the year. Energetically, it is asking us to take a look at what areas of our lives have been fruitful. What are we going to continue carrying forward into this harvest equinox season? And what are we ready to release? What is ready for harvest and what is ready to be cleared out? So, thinking about these two cosmic happenings this week together, it can create all of the right conditions for clarity and change, especially with eclipses being unpredictable and chaotic, it is really asking us to not rush into things, to have discernment, to hit the pause button before we go forward with new plans or anything new that we are wanting to start or thinking about. A couple of weeks ago, we had a affirmation reading that was talking about it's a great time to start something. During eclipse season, things may not unfold the way that you were intending them to. So planning, thinking about this time as the planning moment. And once we pass this eclipse, really taking all of your plans and putting them into action to harvest them for the fall equinox. So just a little cosmic overview before we get into our oracle reading. And today I am going to be drawing 2 cards, as we have been the last few weeks, to really ground us before we get into our meditation. And so before I do this, I wanted to start with a sound cleanse. So I have 3 different tuning forks here. And I will each play them one at a time. Before we get into our guidance, if you will just kind of drop in a little bit wherever you are, and I'll play each one of these 3 before we open with the guidance. You can take some deep breaths while this is going on, but really just focus on letting the sound cleanse you and ground you. And I will put what each of these tuning forks represent and what they mean and their benefits in the show notes if you are curious. But just for the sake of time, to keep us on schedule and to keep this to about 30 minutes an episode. Today, I will be using my oracle deck, and this is called the Work Your Light Oracle deck. So I'm going to draw 2 cards. Card 1 will be Harvest. What needs to be harvested at this moment? And it's just a reminder to honor what you've cultivated this year, to acknowledge your abundance and growth, even if it is small. And then card 2 will be Release. What do we need to release? The invitation to let something go, to trust the cycle of endings, especially during this season and with the shifting of the season. There are 2 transitionary seasons throughout the year, spring and fall. And then we have the concrete seasons of summer and winter, where there's not a whole lot of shifts. Summer is hot as hell for most of us in most places. And winter is cold. It's cold, it's gloomy, and if you are not somewhere where it is sunny during the winter, that can bring a lot of other things too. So during this exquisite season of transition that is fall, that is the equinox. Let us honor that and let us honor the transition that's happening within us. All right, card 1, Harvest. So I'll draw the 2 cards and then we will read from the guidebook. Harvest. What do we need to hear? What needs to be harvested in our lives? The universe needs to tell us. For Harvest, the card is Leap. You go first. The universe will catch you. And Release. Break the chain. Ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. All right. Harvest. Card is Leap. Life bends for the courageous. The universe wants to support you, but first you need to leap, to throw your life up in the air. Perhaps you know what you are being called to leap toward or away from, but are scared to make the move. Or maybe perhaps you are waiting for a big fat sign or instruction manual or permission to do so first. If this is you, then this card is your sign and your permission to take a deep breath and leap into the unknown. It is scary to let go of all that we know and hope for something new. And that's normal to feel anxious at the thought of letting go of what we know for sure. But this is the unavoidable process of rising. And right now, this is how you are being called to live. Nature is constantly showing us how to live with courage. Fall, you really cannot make this up. Fall comes every year and encourages the trees to loosen their grip, to allow what once was so full of life to fall away leaf by leaf. For a moment, it feels like nothing will grow again. The branches are left bare, without the comfort of what once was. But in the morn of spring, new shoots begin to appear, and something new is born that is even more glorious than before. You go first. Take a good run and leap. I just cannot get over the mention of fall, as this is our harvest card for the fall equinox. Okay, harvest. You are being called to leap. You are being called to harvest whatever you have been working on, you have been thinking about, you have been wanting to do. This is your sign to do it. And now, of all times, now, do it scared. Maybe you haven't been able to take that leap of faith, especially in the past, because of all of these other external things that have been influencing you to not. Maybe it's not stable. Maybe it's crazy to some people. Maybe other people have been projecting onto you what they could never do or never accomplish. And it's just a projection. And maybe it's under the guise of, I'm just trying to be realistic with you. I'm just trying to help you out. I'm just trying to help you think about all of these things, right? Don't listen to that shit. This is your sign. Because whatever you are harvesting right now is going to lead to the abundance that you want and the growth that is needed. Harvest it. Harvest that shit. Yeah, take the leap. Leap, and those who are going to support you are going to fall into your lap. They're going to be drawn to you. So don't worry about people who may not be here for your leap of whatever venture, whatever relationship, whatever move, whatever big life change or project or business that you are working on. Don't even worry about them. Whoever falls away during this time period, especially during eclipse season, it is tend to be thought of as fated events, fated people coming in and out of your life. So just take that with a grain of salt. But this is your sign. It's time to take the leap. No more, I'm not ready, I'm not ready. You are ready right now. Okay. And that's it. That is everything that came through, I think. Okay, break the chain for our release card. What do we need to release? You are being called to heal your family line or free yourself from living the life of your ancestors. This could mean letting go of an old pattern of your maternal or paternal line, healing trauma from the past that is not even yours, or observing old ways of being that no longer serve you. We carry emotional trauma in our luminous field for up to 7 generations back. I mean, generational trauma is crazy. This is why family patterns can be the hardest to break. Often they are not even ours to begin with. But we do not know another way of being, so we continue playing out the drama. The thing to notice when ancestral healing comes up is that you cannot heal another person, but your own healing can cause another person to choose to heal. Energy is freed up. You are being guided now to look at your life and decide how you want it to be. What ways of being or patterns are you ready to free from yourself? What part of your future do you want to rewrite? Now is the time to shake them off and dream a new future into being. What old ways of being from your family line are you ready to let go? Seek assistance from your support team, your tribe, your friends, a healer, coach, etc., to begin freeing yourself from it now. Release. And viewing these collectively, taking that leap, breaking the ancestral or family beliefs that you can't do something or that's not how it was done. We've always done it like this. Breaking that pattern, that thought, the idea or the notion of whatever story has been told in your family, has been told throughout your lineage, throughout your family line. Think about those different patterns. How, and just as an example, like how your parents talked about money, their beliefs about money, your own beliefs about money, or maybe about love, different ideas about love. Maybe your parents were divorced when you were younger, and so thinking that love is only going to end up in divorce. That is a narrative that can be broken, that can be unlearned. And maybe whatever generational trauma, you know your generational trauma. And if you don't, working with a spiritual therapist or someone who can help you unpack that generational trauma. Because it does, it gets passed down from generation to generation to generation. Another good example is back when, just speaking about women not being able to have their voices heard, their opinions didn't matter. They needed a man in order to have a bank account or to get married in order to come into their own finances. So all of these things that get passed down. So maybe you are harboring these different ideas, these different traumas that have been passed down through generations, and they need to be healed. They need to move through you, not only for yourself, but for future generations. And also to break the pattern, to break the cycle, because you are meant to leap. And you need to break the chain, to break the pattern before you can get to your abundance by taking that leap. And doing these, harvest and release, this is side-by-side work. So as you are taking this leap, also being cognizant of different patterns and things that are coming up, different inner voice, inner monologues, things that are coming up that are trying to stop you from taking this leap, from finding your abundance. Yes, so before we move on to our meditation, I hope this resonated with you, and the collective energy of this equinox allows you to honor what you've cultivated and to trust that the cycles of change, the things that no longer serve you, the things that need to be healed, the patterns that need to be broken, that they move through you, they fall away, to make space for everything that you need in your life. All right. Switching gears to our meditation. Today's meditation is inspired by the fall equinox. So I'm going to start and end us with a tuning fork to allow yourself to deeply, deeply rest and to know that I am still with you until the chime of the tuning fork to end the meditation. Now, as we begin, allow yourself to settle into a comfortable position. You can be seated or lying down, as long as you feel fully supported by the surface beneath you. Take a slow breath in, inhaling through your nose, and then a gentle breath out. And again, inhaling deeply. Full body exhale through the mouth. And just allow your breath to begin guiding you inward. Notice the rhythm of your breathing. Each inhale Each exhale, equal, balanced, steady. Just like the equinox, where light and dark hold equal time. And bring your awareness gently into your body. Notice your feet, your legs, your belly, your chest. And with each exhale, see if you can let go of a little more tension. And as you breathe, remember that fall is a season of change. The air cools, the light shifts, the leaves turn and fall. So with every breath in, receive the nourishment, the harvest of your efforts. The lessons of this past season. And with every breath out, release what no longer serves. Just as nature releases with grace. And stay with this rhythm, breathing in and receiving, breathing out and releasing. And the balance of holding and letting go. And wrapping up, one last deep breath as you let your breath return to just normal breathing. And when you're ready, you can bring a hand to your heart and turning your palms to the sky in order to receive these words. I welcome this season of change. I honor balance within and around me. I trust the cycles of release and renewal. And take one final deep breath in. And And a long exhale through the mouth. And when you're ready, you can wiggle your fingers, your toes, gently opening your eyes and returning to your space with the balance of the equinox within you. And if you need a few extra moments to just be, you can pause the audio here. Thank you for practicing with me today. This week holds so much energy, and with the equinox, so much good energy. With the lingering tenderness of the Pisces lunar eclipse, the balancing of the equinox, and the reset of the Virgo Solar Eclipse. May you feel supported both in your harvest and your release this week. If anything came up during this meditation, it would be lovely to journal about, or if you want to leave a comment down below, you can absolutely do that. And if you would like even more meditations, I have those available on my YouTube, or if you would like to book a soul alignment reading with me, where I take the wheel of holistic health, a little bit of ritual, a little bit of breath work, and a little bit of astrology to help you get unstuck and realign with your soul's purpose. That link will be in the description below as well. And I hope that your body, your mind, and your soul feel deeply cared for after today. Until the next one, take care.